Hey guys, today we have a $2 computers. Yep, I paid $2 for this thing, and somebody removed the RAM and the hard drive out of it. I have my own RAM, which I've had from years, most of it kind of ready to be discarded. And the most I paid for this one is this 16 bucks SSD, which makes it to $18. And I remember these. I bought a whole bunch of them. I think it was $5. It was a whole box of assorted RAMs. And we're gonna try to use all those parts to bring this one back to life and see if it's any good. It's one of those very old ones. I'm not sure if I can show you the full thing on the camera. As you see, one of those beauties. It says Intel i3 on here, but we have to see if that i3 holds up inside. Because all it matters is what's inside. And let's turn it around. Let's take this cover off, and yep, it's empty. There's nothing in there. Let me put the cover back on the side. Now here we have 4 slots of RAM, which looks DDR3 to me. The CPU with a heatsink, which is the just regular HP. We have a 250, I think it should be. 240 watts. 80 plus rated platinum, it says, which it's small, but should be good. 240 watts, 80 plus platinum ain't bad. I'm not going to complain. Let's see if we have anything hidden here. Okay. And nope. We don't really have anything except for the optical drive, which I still appreciate them. And let's see if we can turn this one into a kind of nice side computer. But always, when you're doing this kind of salvage computer stuff, I highly suggest, before you plug in any other components, you try if it turns on first. Let's plug in the cord and test it. Okay, it beeps. At least we know it's alive. It should have some lights somewhere. The camera is not catching it, but there's a light actually blinking there. And as you see, we can try to turn it on. So it has life. We know those 4 beeps are for the missing RAM. Let's take it out. After you take it out, click the power button to discharge the capacitors. Right here, just to make sure capacitors are discharged. Because even if it doesn't electrocute and kill you, it'll give you a buzz for sure. But sometimes the capacitors will actually get damaged. You touch and you still can short components like small resistors and all that stuff inside the board. So it's best practice, even after you unplug it, hold the power button for just a few seconds to make sure everything is discharged. Now let's go ahead and see what we have under the hood. And for some reason, in their infinite wisdom, HP decided to cram everything together in one place. And let's see if we can take this out. Here we go. Here goes the. Oh, so the heatsink is actually smaller than I thought. Now let's try this one up. Okay, let's. Okay, it has a T screw style. Uh, okay, the paste is really, really dried. So, first thing, right after testing for power, take the CPU heat base out of it and check the paste, the thermal paste, because if that's dry as it is on this one here, you will have a lot of trouble down the line. Even though it's a small CPU, it still has a lot of heat. Now we just got to get some alcohol, clear this part up, and we take this one out and clear it as well. And here I'm just gonna use 91% isopropyl alcohol. I use it in all the cases when I clean, and yes, that looks dirty, but it's from cleaning other machines. just with a microfiber towel, and it can do a lot of miracles in cleaning. You could use other stuff, but in my experience, I think isopropyl alcohol is the best when it comes to cleaning electronic parts. You can do CRC electronics cleaner, but you don't really need in this one. It's more for cars, yes, but computers, I don't know, unless your board is really bad and rusted, yeah. But look how beautiful that came out. Now let's take the CPU out and see what we're working with. At this point, we just take off the CPU, remove the latch, lift it up, and be careful with the CPU because you don't want to break the legs inside there. If you bend some of them, whew, boy oh boy, I'm telling you, that will not be an easy day. Okay, let's clean it up since, as you see, we cannot see anything what's inside here. Okay, let's use that isopropyl alcohol. I know some tech guys are going to give me hell for this one. How dare you put alcohol? But this is not the chip itself. That's just the metal piece that makes contact for heat exchange. So we're safe on this one. And as you see, this is our beautiful CPU. It's an Intel i3 4138. It's not exactly a beast. 3.4 gigahertz max, I think. It's not exactly the best, but it's not the worst as I thought it might have a bad one. Nope, it looks pretty good to me, and I will just place it back in. Because as you see, the board is very clean. Actually, the whole computer is very clean, and no, I did not clean it. I bought it for $2 as it is. They wanted to toss it away, and I thought, why not buy it, for $2, whatever, to make a video because maybe somebody out there has the same opportunity to get one of these. And if you don't have a computer or you need a side computer, you get one of these, you do what I'm doing here, and you got a working computer, hopefully. Let's place the CPU back in and go on with life. Okay, and this time we're gonna apply some thermal paste. I just have this insignia from Best Buy. It's not probably the best. It's not Arctic level, but Linus Tech Tips isn't here, so he's not seeing. Linus, if you ever watch this video, shut up. Okay, I like to put just a little bit on it, like this, and I like to spread it just a touch. That's all I want to put here. I'm not gonna overkill it because that's not actually good at all. And I preferably like to move it out around with a piece of plastic. I don't want to use metal because I don't want to scratch the surface. And yes, the worst piece of plastic I could find was a SIM card adapter, I guess they are. Anyway, let's just spread it just a little bit because the heat sink will do the rest of the work. And I know a lot of you there might be saying, "Oh my God, what you doing? Oh, that's so wrong." Yeah, but we're not working with a really high powered CPU, so it just works enough, and that's all I care about. And I know this is not the best thermal paste. I know it deserves something better because i3 has done a lot of work for me for many years, and just because I have another i7 or i9, whatever we get, it doesn't mean that we have to forget what really helped us all these years. And before we place the other part back in, as you see, we have some dust problems here, just a little bit. So I will wipe that out and put it back in. As you see, it came back pretty beautiful. And the fan was facing this way when we took it out. And we'll put it that way back again because it takes the air in and it takes it out, if I'm not wrong, or takes it from out in, something like that. And when you place it back in, do not apply force on top. Just make it sit on its screws and tighten the screws side by side. You tighten the first one halfway, take it out, and tighten the second one halfway, then the third one, Then the fourth one. Okay, now the screws are done. Time to plug in the fan cable. Do not forget the fan cable. You will have a really bad day if you forget that one. Fan cable is in place. We take the power cable now. This is the motherboard power. It's a 4-pin. On this one, the CPU cable, sorry. The CPU power. We place that in where it's supposed to be. Now, next, I would like to select some of the RAMs I have, which feels a little bit like dumpster diving, to be honest. I'm going to try to get the same frequencies at least. We have some 2 gigs and some 5 gigs. 12800, 12800, nope, 1060, 10600, 10600. Okay, guys, at this point, we are ready to find the moment of the truth. Okay, let me click the power button here. And I'll switch it to the other screen, which might look like it's from the 90s. With this keyboard here. But I will switch it to OBS soon enough, but I just want to see if it's going to work. Okay. So far we have a dark screen. Okay. And it just signed in because I put no passwords. Okay, and let me record this screen with OBS so you guys can see what's inside here. No, not streaming. Start recording. And now we're inside the screen itself. Now let's take a look at the info. Info, system information. And we have, 11.4, which is 12 gigabytes of RAM. Intel i3 4130, 3.4 gigahertz, 2 cores and 4 logical processors, which is a very, very low one. And now let's shut it down. And the computer is working at this point. We can just put the cover back on. I could probably fix this one in a better state, but I'm not really interested right now. And I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a fun project, rebuilding one of those older computers with Wi-Fi, with RAM, with solid-state drive, putting new thermal paste on the older i3 it has. I enjoy using its optical drive, and it has a 240-watt, 80-plus platinum-rated power supply, which that's actually great. And we'll see you next time. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something. Bye!